Alright guys, Josh here again, and I welcome you to See Your Way, and hopefully today you'll be able to see your way in the dark with flashlights. This is what I'm talking about today. So as part of EDC, or your everyday carry, which I have spoken about in my last video, you could see the link here for that. I was talking about it being an essential part of your everyday carry, in the sense how you go about going through the physical world that you interact on a regular basis, and how you give yourself an advantage in very dark and low light situations, and needing good and durable and very reliable flashlight for when that time comes is immeasurably and extremely important. Not being able to navigate 20 feet ahead of you, seeing 20 feet behind you, or seeing to your sides when there isn't adequate street lighting, or you can properly identify hazardous terrain. In the case of like a natural disaster, you want to make sure you have something that you could carry on you just to give yourself intermittent awareness of your surroundings, identifying probable threats from other human beings, some rabid dog, or, I don't know, maybe some extraterrestrial or La Chupacabra, waiting in the dark to pounce on you and probe your brain or whatever. So, how do you go about picking the right flashlight, or even more so, what are the things that you should be looking for in purchasing a good flashlight? Let's discuss. One of the first things that you want to do is make sure you get a flashlight that can support proper batteries. Proper batteries of different size and types are numerous. You have so many decisions based on the flashlight that you're carrying, but I'm particularly talking about pocket lights. Well, that's just what I call it, but just flashlights that can fit in your pocket with not too much bulk, and it's not going to be too cumbersome for you to carry around in your pants pocket, or even in a knapsack, or whatever case that you have in your EDC. And the type of batteries that you use, ideally I would say you should be going for rechargeable batteries. Reason being, you don't want to have a battery that's completely dead and that's all you have, and if you have a charger and you have access to electricity or some external battery pack, you have the opportunity to give yourself another opportunity of 20 minutes, or hour, however the capacity of the battery is. Now, over the years, different types, the power output of normal batteries and rechargeable batteries were very much different, in the sense that the unrechargeable batteries, or non-rechargeable batteries, correct me which one is the proper one, the power output or the discharge that they would be able to give to the light bulb, it used to be a lot less than what you would get from a normal battery. So the amount of energy that it would store wouldn't have been enough. So a normal battery could have been, lasting you like giving you an hour of full-on lighting, but a rechargeable might have given you like half or one-third of that. But over the years, they have increased the capabilities of, the technology that went into making these batteries. So if it is that you get in batteries now, you don't have to worry too much. Just do a little research and see what battery will be proper to use. You want to make sure that your battery has the ability to give you that longevity, because you don't want something in two little presses of your button, it's drained, and then you're back in the dark like Riddick on some alien planet in pitch black. So how do you decide what types of batteries to buy? Now, there are two main types that I particularly like to use. There's the AA battery, and then there's this particular size. If you can tell me off at the top of your head what type of battery this is, then you're already halfway there. If not, you have a whole new world to look into. Now this is what you call a CR123A type battery. It's lithium based and it has a lot of power output in comparison to other batteries for its size. Now a lot of batteries like these over the years, they tend to run out of juice pretty quickly. Now you could get these in rechargeable size. Now whilst this has very good power output and it holds a lot of energy in it, it's not that popular, especially if like you go to and check the average piece of appliance that you have in your house. This tends to be much more popular, double A. So when you're picking, I personally would suggest it might be better if you get a flashlight like this. Well, maybe not this particular one, but one that uses this type of double A battery. It's the most common battery you could get. And in times of strife and suffering, you don't want to have to be scavenging and hoping you can get one of these. It's just not the smart thing to do. But if you can have both, that'll be even better. Okay, so the second thing that you would want to look into are lumens. So what exactly are lumens? Lumens are basically a measurement of the power output or the ability of a flashlight to, or the bulbs I should say, to light up a particular area. I'm not too in tune with the science behind it, but there's something that you should keep in mind. Don't be fooled when you hear or you see like over 5,000 lumens or more lumens. Yes, they might shine bright on than a lower lumens based device, but if it is that you are just needing something to light up a particular scenario, you really don't need that much, and I'll explain why. Human eyes do not necessarily need to have much more light to light up a situation. Our eyes can only adjust for a certain amount of lumens. We do not really have the capacity to really detect the level of brightness between a 3000 lumen source of light flashing on you or a 2000 lumen. Either way, it's gonna be like Jim Carrey in that movie when he was trying to become God or something, and you know he was like that. Two different bright lights at very high lumens, you're going to squint easily the same way. So basically getting one just because it's brighter on paper is not really that necessary. For one other reason as well, heat. The more lumens that a bulb puts out, it puts out more heat as well. And in survival situations, when you're holding things like this, you don't want to have to be worrying about this thing burning your hand. I do not know how many of you have been out there, but this thing will leave a mark if you leave it on. If you leave the bulb on for too long, you will feel that little on your hand. So if you're getting lumens, I would suggest you could get something between 1,000 to 1,800, or maybe even 6 to 1,200. That's as most as you might really need. The only caveat I would say is that if you are like a first responder or you are in an active rescue team, then you might need to get lights. But then getting a small flashlight like that, you might have much more durable and ones that have some kind of housing that could protect your skin from the heat or damaging other equipment that you have from the heat. So another thing to look into is getting a light with low light mode. And when I say a low light mode, it's like when you press or you toggle a certain feature on the light, it puts a very limited low output of light out. So it's like very, very dim light. Like if your light bulb had to tune down just a little bit, then that's what you're looking for. Reason being, most of the times when we have to function in the night, our eyes will adjust because of what you will call visual pupil. I think it's ribo. I should have paid attention in that class, you know. But there's basically how our eyes work. We will be able to adjust to the dark, and to make sure that your eyes can function well under low light situations, especially when you want to save your battery power. Having a low light mode might be just enough. You don't want to burn through your battery in survival situations where you just need to shine it for an extended period of time and you only need so much for your eyes to adjust. You only need so much external light for your eyes to be able to see. So get a light that has just enough of that low light mode where it'll just be perfect for your situation. Okay, the other thing I would say that you would really need is a good programmable light. And when I say programmable, I mean that it has two very unique settings for extremely dangerous survival situations. One for if you're getting attacked by an unknown stranger or a criminal, which is what you call the strobe light setting on most lights. That's what they will call it. It's where you get these real quick flashing lights. That's the kind of lights that will probably like trigger off someone's epileptic episode. What it does, it flashes on the light really quickly, takes it or flash it on. So when a person's eyes, their eyes are taking a lot of licks trying to readjust to light being on, being off, and it gets a person quite disoriented. And that could buy you the necessary time to get out of a situation and for you to identify, still have a seemingly steady light on the threat that is in front of you. And you could get that opportunity if it is that you are armed with a legal firearm, or you have your pepper spray, or wherever country you are in that you have some legal means to protect yourself. It's just to give you that opportunity. The second feature that I would say that you should get is one with an SOS light. It's where you send out that SOS Morse code signal so that in the event you are trapped in the woods, you are stuck under some rubble, or you want to communicate with a person at a distance and let them know that you require assistance, having a light with a program like that will be good in the event that you are not able to consistently do that. You could just set it up and just leave it and it should be doing that while you might have to be tending to something else. The other thing with getting a light like this is make sure that it is easy to use. So a lot of lights have this they might have like an electronic base on it or a mechanical feature on how to trigger that light. You want something that might be quick, like just pressing a button or double tapping for it, or tapping 3 times, or like tap and hold. You want something that it's not going to take much out of you to remember, or if they have like an array of things, you press. The problem with getting one that is electronic is that it uses energy from the battery as well to keep that programming operational, and that will actually take away from the time you have for the light output that you would want your battery to hold. So you just have to make that decision what might work for you. If you know you have like 100 batteries and you have that programmable light, well, that's electronic based, that's cool. If you have one that's mechanical based, then you'll just remember, just practice to learn what to press to get these certain features, so that in the event of the situation does come up, it's going to become second nature. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is the water resistance and durability of lights, and why you should focus on this as well. You want to get flashlights that have an IPX4 rating, which is like the common standard nowadays for a lot of devices. Even phones, I think, might have IPX6 or something like that, I'm not sure. But you want something that could be submerged in water for some time in the event that, you know, it's raining, it's flood, and if your light's on, you don't want it to get damaged if it falls into a puddle or a pool of water, that you could easily retrieve it and don't have to worry about it not working again. The other thing is that you want to get a flashlight that is quite durable, something that could take some damage. You want one that could roll get stamped on, roll down a hill like a calabash, get pelt like a big stone, something that could work. And there are even some that have really good tough glass on the lens itself here. So the way how they design some of them is that they could be used as a defense tool, that it might be the first thing you might grab for, because where you are, you might not want to be carrying an offensive weapon on you because of the laws in your country, and this will be more deemed a tool than a weapon. This has brought me to the end of my little talk on flashlights, and if you have enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that like button and share the video with your friends so you can bring that into the awareness as well, and it will also really help grow the channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for my whatever little bit of subscribers I have right now, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I really would appreciate it. And yeah, and I hope you all enjoyed it. So if you don't, and there's some things you don't agree with, leave a comment below, and yeah, I will do some more research into it, because we are all here to learn things and get better at optimizing our lives. So I thank you for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have a good one.